Hi there, it's Sam from pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one. Now, I know that over the last 12 weeks, you've got used to me doing an Advent countdown project on a Monday and a Friday. And last Friday, I did promise you that there would be a 25th project. You're going to have to wait till Wednesday. Aren't I naughty? But I have got here paper from our seasonal catalogue, and this is the Into the Woods paper, which I have loved so much. I've got down to mere scraps now, so I pulled out a 6x6 project for you, which has got a slightly different close to normal. But I suppose a little part of me has perhaps neglected the paper in the annual catalogue, so I'm going to do a slightly different version for you. So you need a piece of paper that is 6 by 6 inches, which is 15 by 15 centimetres. And I have taken the Timeless Elegance paper, which I love, and it is divine. And at this time, my children break up from school on Friday, so we're into, Mummy, I need a load of teacher gifts. And I always think I have enough, and then I suddenly remember the after school club ladies, the breakfast club ladies, the boys go to one or the other, and the dinner ladies, and I always need far more than I anticipate. So this will hold Christmas chocolates, so Quality Street, celebrations, those sorts of things. It does definitely hold 2 or 3 of those. Anyway, if you've run out of your Christmas paper, let's go with Timeless Elegance. So 6 by 6 inches. On the first side, we're going to score it at 1, 2 3/4, 3 3/4, and 5.5 inches, which in metric, 15 by 15 centimetre piece of paper, 2.5, 7, 9.5 and 14 centimetres. Okay, and then you're going to turn it round and score it at 1 and 5 inches, which is 2.5 and 12.5 centimetres. And then the finished dimensions of the box, when it's all completed and built and everything, 4 by 1 by 1 3/4 inches, which is 10 by 2.5 by 4.5 centimetres. So a nice sized box. I'm going to fold and burnish this paper. And like I say, I've kind of neglected the annual catalogue. That's so bad, isn't it? Oh, outrageous. But I suppose we do all get swayed by the beautiful pretties and what have you. And Christmas sort of seems to sweep up on us quite quickly. And yeah, but I pulled it all back out again. Now, which side do I think you can see better? That side. Okay, so I've got all my 4 score lines running horizontally. That one is 1 inch deep, so 2.5 centimetres. This one is narrow. So this bit is actually going to tuck inside there. So this is your lid of your box. Let me grab a pen. And what you need to do is cut the 2 outer corners away from there. So there's my score lines. So that's where my score lines are, and you need to cut that one and that one away. And this is the top of the box, so that's how it closes, like that. And like I say, hopefully you can see the score line. So if I cut this away, and I'll hover it for a second, and you can see, oh, I can't see, I can't see the score lines I've drawn over them. Let me just flip it over, so oh dear, it's dangerous, isn't it? Okay. So that's what I've cut away. So that's my score lines running horizontally, and you can see where I wibbled when I drew. Okay, so hopefully you can see all of that. Now turn it that way and you're left with 2 score lines. We need to cut those as well and notch in very slightly into the squares. Oh, or a lot apparently if you slip your scissors. Okay, so if I bring it back in, you can see where I've cut and I have notched. So hopefully you can see that. So I'm pausing. Okay, right, what we need to do now is round these corners. So grab your corner rounder, round off those corners. And then we also need to put a little sort of handy thumb helper in as well, and that goes on the fold of this part. So grab a punch, doesn't matter which size. What have I picked up? A 1-inch circle, and I'm eyeballing my best for the centre. And you're just cutting a little bit out so that you've got this bit that you can hook a fingernail into. Now we need to put the box together. So I'm going to put adhesive on these 4 tabs. You could use snail for this because it's paper to paper. I happen to have my fuse handy, so I will use that one. But with adhesives, if you're doing paper to card on a flat surface, or anything on a flat surface, you could use snail. When you're building a 3D item, if there's cardstock involved in it, you need to use a strong adhesive like Tombow, the quick dry wet adhesive, or tear and tape, which is this one here, or the red liner paper tape, or fast fuse. If you're doing paper to paper on a 3D project, you can use snail. So there we go. So close that up, and it just slips inside like that. Very sweet. And I've got some ribbon somewhere. Here it is. This is my stitch satin ribbon, which I love very much. I used the Into the Woods ribbon on my original box, which, if I put that back on, it's rather lovely. Although bizarrely it reminds me of school laces, you know, from the pumps you had, you know, plimsolls. But it's really nice, I really like it. I love the colour of it, rich raspberry. But I love the stylish elegance of black ribbons. Tie my fingers in knots because I'm trying to tie this knot without collapsing the box down. There we go. Well, that's a totally all over the shop. That wasn't even vaguely in any kind of direction. Not good. Okay, I used a little something for you stamp set, which is on the retiring list. I'm very sad to see it go because I've used that such a lot. So I have used it so much this season. So it's rather gorgeous, and if you haven't yet got it, go and get it before you can't. But I've decided to bring out Tag Talk, and I've gone with this one because it's the elegant paper. I wanted to use sort of a slightly different type of stamping on it. So I'm probably going to find it's going to be way too big for this project. That's okay. A piece of Very Vanilla. My archival basic black ink, which I think I need to re-ink actually. So onto there, and then punch that out with a matching label bracket punch. Oh, throw it onto your lap as well, why not? And then I'm going to put I've got our basics pearls here. And I'm going to put some of the tiny little ones just into the swirly bits. I'm not particularly following any scientific method. I'm just putting them on the swirly bits. There's some more swirlies. There's another one. I reckon one more over there. And I was going to put it onto a piece of cardstock, but actually thinking about it, I think I rather like it without. Yeah, I think I'm going to go without. Don't you just love it when you change your mind mid-project? Why not? So, a cluster of those on there. And then that will tuck under. And I want to have it slightly off to one side. Let's move this ribbon a little, so that you can still get at the thumb holder and it'll still open. And with this one I actually used the Bird Builder, I couldn't think what it was called, the Bird Builder punch, just to get a little leaf off there, just to match the paper in the background. But that's an easy project, and like I say, if you're like me and you've suddenly found that you've got 15 more teachers than you realised that you have to make a little goodie for, that's the kind of project, and perfect for using up scraps because it is 6 by 6. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me, and I hope to speak to you very soon.